Hey! Episode 5. 5. Such a great number. Prime number. 5. Back at you for another episode of the Beat the Best podcast. This is your host, Betamax84. Friends, this week has been the most insane week for sport that I can ever recall in my recent memory. Football, basketball, college football, women's basketball, and FIFA all rolled up in the same week. It's incredible. So I had to pick a few subjects because you can't talk about all of sport. You can just talk about the things that really interest you. So we did that. This week, we're going to have Sean back with us. He's a superstar. We're going to talk about Giannis leaving Milwaukee, wanting to leave Milwaukee. We're going to talk about Chris Paul and how retirement isn't always pretty. And we're going to talk about the NBA MVP and what that's going to look like. But first, let's talk about FIFA World Cup 2026. Let's talk about it. I know I can hear you already. I don't care about FIFA. I don't care about soccer. That sounds familiar. That's what people said about F1 a few years ago. But guess what? This is the largest tournament on planet Earth, which makes it the largest tournament in the solar system, which probably is the largest tournament in the universe. But we can't prove that because I don't think they're having tournaments of soccer on Mars. Not yet anyway. So this week, the World Cup drew their picks and draws, and it was a star-studded event. Tom Brady showed up, Aaron Judge showed up, Shaq showed up, Wayne Gretzky showed up. A lot of people are going to be watching the World Cup this year. It's going to be held in Canada, the U.S., and Mexico, so it's a true North American sports event. It's going to be 104 matches, including 48 teams. And the United States is going to host 78 games. If you like March Madness, this is March Madness on steroids. It is going to be huge. For the first time since 1994, we're going to host here in the United States. I'm just saying, if you were not a soccer fan before, and I'm not going to front, I wasn't the biggest soccer fan prior to the World Cup. I remember the last World Cup, I became a huge fan. But it's a great time to jump in. Most people don't know any soccer players outside of Messi or Mbappe. But there's some great players out there. Some fantastic players out there. And the soccer fans are rabid. They make basketball fans in the NBA look like, I don't know, Sleeping Beauty. They don't care. Soccer fans globally, they rush the field. People put out death threats, not saying that that's a measure of what being a good fan is. But it just gives you an idea of how serious they are about the sport. It's insane. It's going to be unavoidable. Even if you don't watch, you're going to get sucked into it somehow. And if you're on the West Coast especially, you're going to be in it because a lot of the games are going to be played in LA and Canada and Mexico. So that's just something for you to think about. The World Cup is going to be fantastic this year, and they had their coming out party this week. Guys, we're going to talk about more with Sean on the flip of this. We're going to talk about Giannis. We're going to talk about Chris Paul. We're going to talk about the NBA MVP. Stick around. Who loves you, baby? Hey, yo, we keep coming back. We keep coming back.
Yes. Like we never left, right?
Like we never left. I got my boy Sean Watkins here. It is episode 5 still again. There was so much that happened in sports that we had the hardest time choosing the topics for this week. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Absolute facts. I mean, there was a lot going on in the sports world. So, I'm excited what we did choose to talk about. So I'm excited to talk about it. Should be fun.
Exactly. So we definitely wanted to hit Giannis and talk about the Chris Paul situation and then look at what the NBA MVP race looks like. But let's start off with Giannis, right? Because this is a big deal. Giannis is an NBA superstar. You could even say he's probably top 5 in the NBA right now as far as players are concerned. He decided to tell management he's done, that he's done with the Milwaukee Bucks and that he wants to move along, which isn't too uncommon when a superstar really wants to win. But I think the take for me was, it's so easy for teams to let people go, but Giannis wants more. He wants to still win. So what did you think about Giannis wanting to get out of Milwaukee and letting management know up front? I mean, he's still under contract. So I wanted to know what you thought about that.
Well, my thoughts are, I mean, he's well within his rights. I mean, we've seen so many times where management lets players go. They decide, okay, this great player, even though they had a decent season, we're ready to get rid of them. We're ready to move on. We're ready to try something new because we're not getting the desired result. So management's able to do that. Why not have the players give the players the ability to do that? I mean, just look at Luka's situation. I mean, management there was like, oh, we don't believe he's going to get in shape. We don't want to pay him 300 plus million. We're going to move on. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on who you are, they moved on from that management and found out that that was a mistake. But
Mistake is an
going back,
understatement.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But going back to Giannis, I mean, like I said, he's well within his rights. He is highly competitive. He's won a championship. I believe he's won a league MVP. Correct? Am I correct with
I
that?
believe so, yeah.
I believe so. So he's a competitor. He wants to compete. He wants to have a chance to win every night. And Milwaukee's roster presently constructed is not going to do that. I mean, they the East is tougher than we expected, and in my opinion, it was tougher than I expected. It's incredible. I'm not sure they're a top 8 seed in Milwaukee. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe top, maybe. I mean, maybe I'm being a little difficult, a little facetious with that. But
No, this is that.
yeah, yeah. I don't think Milwaukee's good enough, and he sees that. He recognizes that, and management's not putting enough talent around him to compete and beat the Detroit Pistons or who's up there with them in the East, Boston Celtics
Yeah.
and those type of teams, even Philly, who's playing real well. So I don't think he feels like that they can compete. So he's well within his rights. I'm not mad at it. I used to be the type of person that would say, that's not good because they're under contract. Play your contract out. But
Yeah.
like I said, managers and owners don't adhere to that. So why should players do?
No, I agree with that. I'm old school in that I do enjoy players playing out their contract. You did sign a contract. I mean, that's both ways. I like players to play out their contract. I like teams to uphold their contracts. So that's a two-way street. I'm always player first. I think my problem comes from a realism standpoint. Like, this dude's averaging 30 and 10.
Right.
Where do you unload 30 and 10? You know what I'm saying? He's not giving
Yeah.
you 20 and 6. He's giving you 30 and 10. There's no trade that's going to remunerate Milwaukee to make them whole after they give him up.
Well, I mean, they've got to know that it's a rebuild after that. He is your foundation. So it's a rebuild after that. They got to know that. So if
Yeah.
they're talking to him, and I think it becomes a loyalty issue or a loyalty, yeah, like a loyalty issue where they're sitting out and they're saying, okay, you got us a championship. We hear you. We want to be loyal to you. We don't want to send you, but you're not happy. So maybe we have to, to appease you because you brought us a championship. I mean, it's the first championship since the '70s when Kareem was there. So
Facts.
it's like I said, it's one of those things. It's a tough situation, and I side on your side when it comes to being loyal to that team and playing out your contract. But like I said before, if you're, if management's not happy with you or they don't think you can cut the mustard, they'll ship you out in a heartbeat.
Yes, they
so
will.
so
They
why not
will.
have the opportunity to do the same thing, right?
Yeah, and I think if you're Giannis, you want to capitalize on your youth and strength as far as you can before you
Yeah.
become over the hill, it'll lead us right into our next segment. But I just look at what he does on a nightly basis. The guy never phones it in. He
No.
always gives you 100% anytime he's in a uniform. He plays
Right.
like he's in a contract year every season. Those are
Right.
his superpowers,
But the
right? The
skill,
fact that he's
you,
6'10" is just a plus. He always
oh
plays
yeah,
hard. You know what I mean?
you get a little nervous. You're like, man, I don't know how long my window is of being able to play at that level and win the type of games we want to win. We want to win championships, and so I don't know how long that's going to be. I think he's what is he 30 or is he pushing 30? So
I think
and
he
that's
might
not
be
old by
close
any
to, yeah.
means. Yeah, yeah, it's not that's not old by any means, but that it's a scary time with all these different injuries and that are happening, and so he's like, I got to maximize my time to be able to play this hard. I mean, and you don't want to be like, and I hate to say this, but you don't want to be like Clay, where Clay had, and he was different. He had back-to-back injuries, but he's not the same player, and so you never know how injuries are going to work, are going to happen with different players, how they're going to affect those players. So
No,
you
that's a
just
great
don't
point, but
know.
I think using your own example, I think Clay's a great example of maximization of his career. I think when Clay looks back on his career, he's going to say he did the most with it. So it's
Hmm.
something that I think is going to work in his benefit. We're looking at Giannis. He's absolutely going to be a fantastic player wherever he goes. And I think Milwaukee, they have enough time now to move him along in the direction he wants to go to. And I think he's going to land in a place that's going to be competitive.
Yeah, and I was going to say, there's trust me, there's several suitors that's going to want 30 and 10. I think the tricky part is how much do they want to give up, because as we can see the way the league's going, the teams are looking, the teams that are the better teams have depth, they have their star, they have players that are stars in their roles, and like I said, the depth that they have. So it's like, okay, do I get this generational talent and lose my depth and win now? Or do I, say, I'm going to pass, keep my depth, keep growing into that winner? So it just depends on what the franchises want. But, yeah, a guy who's 30 and 10, hard to not take a look at
Yeah.
it. So,
And we both
yeah.
know how that train goes, which is going to lead us beautifully into our next segment. When you're an
Sure.
aging superstar, your worth, your value, and your influence shrink geometrically.
Absolutely.
Chris
Hmm.
Paul has learned that the hard way with what has happened with him and the Clippers. The Clippers on a road trip, I think most people have heard the story. I'll give you the abridged version. Chris Paul was asked not to continue with the team on a road trip, and they sent him home. An NBA veteran who I believe is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, second in the league in assists. No one's ever catching John Stockton, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Right.
And he's learned that his influence and the way he views the game is no longer tolerated, air quotes, because of his
Mhm.
age. The way in is not always the way out when we talk about pro
Right.
sports. And I find it really interesting in that Chris Paul has been a pillar of the NBA. Don't forget he was also part of the NBA Players Association in bargaining for the new NBA bargaining rights and them getting paid. So he's been deep in the game on just many more surface levels than just on court. So I just wanted to talk to you about not specifically the Chris Paul thing, but what we look at as a whole when we look at athletes when they're getting towards the end of their career and what that looks like.
Yeah, it's a tough situation because you as these athletes, they're used to playing at such a higher level, and as the game changes, it evolves, and so the way they play the game doesn't necessarily fit the way the games are being played now. So you get this aging superstar who's super smart, who knows the game is in and out, and the foundation of the game is still there and what he learned, but now it's evolved, and so now it's different. So now the things that that he wants to do, he can't he can't do them in this game, or not do them at the level that he's used to doing them. And I
Yeah.
think coaching, management, they see that, and so now you get to a point where it's like, okay, we have to put him in a different reduced role. So now we bring him off the bench. He can do that for spells, certain, against backups, things like that. But that's the way I see it with these players that are getting older, and now they have to. The game is like you have often talked about the
Yeah.
game passing you by. The game is actually passed them by.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know if I agree with the take in that I think Chris Paul has a lot more to offer off court at this point in his career than he does to offer on court. I
True.
thought that's the reason that the Clippers were getting him, is for his mind and the way he views the game. Last year, I believe he started and played many games for the San Antonio Spurs. This season, he still was averaging 3 dimes a game, which is really good for, what, 13, 14 minutes a game, which is still pretty good
Yeah.
for his age as a point guard. I
Sure.
thought that for him and his knowledge base, it was going to be a wanted mental ability to show, hey, this is what we should be doing, because they're losing, so they're clearly doing something wrong. Was he the
Yeah.
scapegoat here?
It looks that way, but I don't think so. I think they've got more problems. Just I think Chris Paul was not a major issue with what's going on with the Clippers, and so I get why you disagree with it. But here's the thing: I think they were looking for him to, help the younger guys, but also help them because outside of James Harden, who's your point guard? Who else is going to run
Hold on, I
the
want you to go
plays,
back.
run the
Hold on,
team?
I want you to go back. You said help.
Mm.
Help can
Yeah.
look different to different people.
Sure, sure, but you gotta look at the franchises. So if you got a franchise that's got a young backup point guard
Mm-hmm.
that can come in, that's not starting, but they're kind of coming into their own. Enter Chris Paul. He's not going to play that much, but he's going to mentor that guy, show him how to do these things, maybe even play a little bit, show him while he's on the floor. But
Yeah.
if you're in the Clippers situation, there's no other point guard there, at least not from my view. So you got James Harden running the point. Now he's supposed to come in off the bench and spell him, give him those minutes, and now you just keep moving. Well, the real issue is I think he was holding the team accountable for things that they were doing. They're not winning games. So and they're looking bad doing it. I mean, they're
Yeah.
they're up early and then they lose the leads and then the game is just it's done.
It
And
gets
and
away
it's
from him
like,
very quickly.
well, it gets away from them. So and I think they wanted Chris Paul to help with that, but I think he was kind of bucking their system, saying, "Well, that's not what you're supposed to do. This is what's supposed to happen. If you see this," I think he was really doing that, and I think it got under people's skins because we know Chris Paul doesn't say things in a way to his teammates that
Mm-hmm.
make them feel good about it. Right? There's a lot of teammates have gone on record, but it's not that he's wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
It's just the way he's saying it. And he's kind of cut from that old cloth. Like, listen, I'm gonna tell you like it is. This is the way it has to happen. This is the way it has to work. And I'm telling you, do it this way. And I think egos get into play and they feel slighted because like, okay, we didn't think of that. Well, what does he know? You know what I
But
mean? And
but you know
I
what,
think
bro?
that's
I
what
don't care if you feel slighted. We're not winning games. There's a picture of Chris Paul when they were in the finals with Phoenix. Who was the coach for Phoenix
right.
when he was in Phoenix?
Oh,
And
Monty Williams. Monty
Monty
Williams.
Williams, thank you. And
Yeah.
Monty Williams was standing there next to Chris Paul, and you can tell they were brainstorming together of how to
Right.
figure out to win. Right? This is the only final Chris Paul's ever been in. And I still think
Hmm.
Phoenix gave their best effort. Giannis just went nuts. I think he had a
Yeah.
50
Right.
ball in the end of that game. But whatever.
Yeah.
Chris thought in his mind that they're going to utilize my brain, right? The only
Right.
champion on the team is Kawhi. Everybody else ain't
Right.
never been there. And James Harden's never going to
Right.
sniff a championship, not as long as his heart beats in his chest.
Very true.
He's not.
I agree with that.
He's
That's so funny. I agree with that though.
He's just not.
He's really
So
not.
so so to look at Chris and be like, "Yo, you're too acerbic. I don't know. I don't know if I like the way you're talking to me." Bro, I don't care if you don't
Right.
like the way Ty Lue was a point guard. He probably didn't like the fact that Chris was right.
Exactly. Egos, man. Egos play a role in this. And I think that's the biggest thing. I don't think it had anything to do with Chris Paul, the knowledge of his game, or him not even being able to play as well as he has been. Because the guy's 40 years old.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get that. I don't think it's that. I just think it is an ego thing. Making sense, holding people accountable. The coaches as well, all the coaches, the coaching staff, holding them accountable. And the players are going to listen to him because they're like, well, Chris knows what he's talking about. So now you lose the players. Now the coaches lose the players. Now I've lost these players because now they listen to Chris more than me. And the
Yeah.
coaches are pretty much like, F that. Yeah, I can, and they can't lose because once you lose your players, then it's a done deal. Then basically you're going into rebuild mode. Now you're getting new coaches. Now you're getting new players. You're trading. You're just blowing the whole thing up. And I think the Clippers don't want to do that. I think they should.
Yeah,
You
I
know how
think
I
they
feel
should
about the
too.
Clippers.
Hmm.
So, but that's what it is. I think he's right in what he was probably right in what he was saying, and they just couldn't handle that.
He couldn't have been wrong in that
Right.
they weren't winning games. To add to your point, I don't foresee Ty Lue finishing the season with the Clippers. I think they're
Mm.
probably going to let him go because it's too far gone. The Clippers have what 10 losses or something like that, 13 losses. The
No,
the
they have more
Western
than that, I think.
the 15 losses. The Western Conference is so
Yeah.
gangster. The Oklahoma City Thunder are 22-1 or something like that.
Mm.
You're
It's
so
just
far
ridiculous.
behind. There's no chance for you this season. You may as well look to next season.
I would agree. I would totally agree. And I mean, and that's crazy to say when we've only played a quarter of the season. There's an 82 game season. That's about 25% of the games are
Yeah,
being played.
yeah.
And to say that you're that far gone, it says a lot about what they're doing. And they're supposed to be, really good this year. I mean, based off the
Mm.
trades and acquisitions they made, not so much. So
Well, they
I
don't
don't know.
offer championships on paper. If they gave
Right.
championships out on paper, the Clippers would have had a few, but they don't.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to go out and do it. And like the
Yeah.
podcast, you got to go out and beat the best. If you don't beat the best, you're
Right.
not the best. That's just the way it is in sports. And that's why I love it. The
Absolutely.
Clippers haven't beat anyone. Full
None.
stop.
Nobody.
They've
Yeah.
beat no one.
That's
So
it.
to let, go ahead.
They haven't beat anybody, and they will continue not to beat anybody. They won't do it. It's like I said. I agree. It needs to be blown up. I think you're waiting on Kawhi to be healthy. It's never going to happen. I think seriously, it's never going to happen.
The way you said it
He's
so matter
never
of factly,
healthy.
it's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. You got James Harden, who's like you said, he's not going to even sniff a championship, so he's not going to lead you. You got to get us another star and kind of build around that foundation there. Because outside of that, yeah, James Harden's going to score. He's going to do great in the regular season. Playoffs, not so much.
Not ever.
Kawhi, who
Especially,
knows if he's going to play?
no, Kawhi's also physically
So
unable to continue. And you're looking at a Western
right.
Conference with two teams who are at the top of it in Denver and Oklahoma City, which brings us
Mhm.
to our last segment. The
Yes.
MVP race, my friend, is becoming shorter and shorter as we speak. Right? I'm used to MVP starting pretty wide open with usually 5 to 8 contenders for an MVP. My brother in Islam, there's only two guys. There's only
It's a
two
two horse
guys.
race, buddy.
It's a two-horse race. It's SGA or it's Joker. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
Joker is so absurd that he puts up triple doubles on a nightly, and we shrug them off like raindrops.
Oh, oh my God, it's ridiculous. We as fans, and I think even in the NBA, we get bored with greatness.
Mm, mm,
Like we're
mm.
bored with it. Like he's averaging a triple double. He's already got three MVPs. He should really get another one, but we get bored with it. Seriously, I mean, you could go back through the history of the game. Go back to Michael Jordan. He lost the MVP to Karl Malone.
Carmelo, yeah,
Karl Malone played great, but was Michael Jordan not the best player back then?
got him in the finals.
But Karl Malone had a great season, so we got to give
Yeah,
it to him.
yeah.
Let's go. Listen, Kobe Bryant.
Ooh.
Kobe Bryant got one MVP in his entire career. You
Mm-hmm.
tell and Steve Nash was fantastic.
Yeah,
You
he got
telling
those
me
two back to back was wild.
you telling me one of those didn't belong to Kobe? We get bored with greatness. We're bored with it. It's terrible. It's
That's a
terrible.
bar,
LeBron.
by the way. That's a bar.
I'm
Bored
saying
with greatness.
it is. We are. I mean, look at LeBron. LeBron's won what? He's won four MVPs, so he's gotten some more. But you can't tell me throughout those times that he didn't win that he wasn't the best player in the world, or he was right there. I'm like, and the way he was playing, it's like he should have more MVPs. But oh, he's got four. Okay, we're bored with greatness. Joker's going to average a triple-double for this season, more than likely. We've seen it before already, right? We've seen it 2 times. Well, you and I didn't see Oscar Robertson do it. We're too
Right?
young. I mean, we're too young for that. But we saw Westbrook do it. Westbrook did it. He averaged a triple-double for a season, won MVP. Joker's gonna do it. We're bored with that,
No,
not
you're not.
knowing that it.
Hold on.
Oh
If
my
I can, if
God,
I
it's
can, if I
crazy.
can jump in here, right? This is gonna make
Sure.
you throw up on your jersey, right? SGA is averaging 32, 4-6 with a 55% 2-point field goal percentage.
That's
They're 20.
bananas.
They're,
As a
they have
guard,
one
that's
loss.
crazy.
They have one loss all season. His
Yeah.
implied percentage to win MVP this season is 83% implied, according to AI.
Right. Right.
Joker's averaging 29.8, 12, and 10
It's disgusting. It's
with a
absolutely
PER of
disgusting.
32.
But for the people that don't know, what is PER? Explain it to them.
Well, that's your player efficiency rating, how efficient
Okay,
you are on the
gotcha.
court.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Like these numbers are stupid.
Yes. Absolutely, just dumb, ridiculous.
Like I
But
personally averaged 52% from the floor as a guard, right? And I thought I couldn't be touched. 55% from the floor as a guard is unheard of.
that's absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy. But here's the other end, though. To average a triple double, and you're the center. Like if you're a guard, that's one thing, but you're the center. I never forget. I told you I got a triple double in a rec league game, and it was the most tired I've ever been in my life. And he's averaging that. I did that one game just playing basketball, trying to let me see if I can do this. Let me go rebound and get everybody involved and score myself. And I was like, this is I don't see how guys can do it. It's the most difficult thing I've ever seen that you can do. And he's doing it and he makes it look easy. You look up, I've watched games where I look up and I'm like, he's not doing too much. He's got 35, 15, and 11.
I mean, 30, 12, and 10 is gross. And so is 32, 4, and 6 being and losing
Yes.
one game. I mean, we're getting back to the point of if I'm part of the voting committee to vote for MVP this year, even though it's a
Right.
two-horse race, which makes it easier, I am still pulling whatever hair I have on this head out and throwing it in the trash because I don't know.
Well, it really depends on what you look at. So if you look at like who affects winning,
But OKC has a better team.
yes. And so I was just getting you're stealing my thunder. I was just
Go
going to
ahead.
get
Go
to
ahead.
that point. So when you, like I said, you look at the winning 22-1, you say, oh, SGA. But I always ask this question. I think I've asked this to you before. If you, in this day and time, you take both of those guys off of those teams. Let's just say they're both hurt.
Yeah.
Rest of the season, both of them are out for the season. God forbid, but both of them are out for the season. Which team does better, in your opinion?
Oklahoma
Which
City.
team does better? Okay,
OKC.
so if Oklahoma City does better, you can then say Joker's most valuable, right? I mean, because listen, Joker's most valuable because his team is going to suffer the most with him not being there. So he's more valuable than SGA. Oklahoma City could still get to a conference finals without SGA. They're that good and that deep. I don't think Denver can. I think Denver could lose in the first round. And no
Yeah.
disrespect to Jamal Murray and those guys, but I don't think they can. And Aaron Gordon, but I don't think they can. I don't think they can get out of the
No,
first
you're
round
making a
without
great
Joker.
point,
He is
bro.
that much. Yeah,
That's such a great point.
he's more valuable to me. If you look at value, like the award is most valuable player,
Yeah.
right? So it's most valuable. I know winning comes into it, and you got to look at records. But if I take them right now, where they stand, and we take SGA out, and we take Joker out, and those two teams have to play the rest of the season, OKC will be fine. Will they win a championship? I don't think so, but they'll be fine. I'm not so sure about Denver, and
You're
so
not wrong. I don't think the NBA is going to look at it that way. Withdrawing,
they never do.
they don't. This debate is going to continue into May. We're not going to solve
Sure.
it today. I just had to bring it up as a topic because they're so good. Both of them are so good, and it's so crazy watching them both battle at it for MVP. Guys, we are wrapping it up. We blow through our time here
Hey,
because we
I
can
think we need
talk
to
for.
extend our time, brother. I think we need to give us an extra 10 minutes or something.
Well, I have to edit it,
You know.
So all I do is create more work for myself, and I still got to get it out. Guys, this is episode 5, right? Episode 5,
Yeah.
man. Love my
Absolutely.
brother Sean coming in, always giving his great takes. You're gonna share this with your friends. You're gonna subscribe. You're gonna tell your friends and family. You're gonna tell your mechanic, hey, this dude that nobody knows about, they like to talk about sports. All right. And we appreciate all the love you give us. For Sean Watkins, we will catch you on the flip side.
Salute.